Hey besties, hey besties, hey besties, besties. I have a huge shopping haul. No, like seriously. I have a huge shopping haul. Probably my biggest haul yet. My shopping addiction is crazy. For real.
Hey y'all, welcome into the channel. Welcome to another day of Everyday May. Today, we are talking, or we're going to be doing a little dive into a content creator's TikTok. And today we're going to be covering Tatiana, who goes by Selfcare with Tatiana over on TikTok. I've been sent her videos quite a bit over the past few months. Sometimes people, I think, just come across her content and it screams overconsumption, and people think of me as like the overconsumption gal, and they send it to me and I'm reminded of her. And somebody sent this to me again recently, and I went, you know what, it's finally time to talk about this content. So the order of operations for today's video is threefold. We're going to do or talk about three overall overarching topics. The first one is we're going to look at her typical content, and we're going to talk about how she promotes and normalizes overconsumption, as well as potentially problematic shopping behavior. In section 2, we'll talk about influencer accountability. That's probably going to be the smallest section of today's video. And then in section number 3, we're going to be extrapolating and kind of taking all of this overconsumption and influence and consumerism and talking about it on a larger scale. Before we get started, I would just like to say that if you don't like her content, if you don't vibe with it, this is not your invitation to go let her know that or to go harass her or be mean to her. Y'all are really awesome and generally not the vibe of this community. But I think it's always worth repeating. And I make these videos and talk about creators, not for the creator, but for the thousands, potentially millions of people who get influenced by creators. So let's get started and let's take a look at her TikTok page. And she is approaching 250,000 followers, which is really big. 250,000 people is a lot of people to influence. It's bigger than entire cities. And her bio says self-care queen, perfume, shopping, and hygiene, which I do think is a pretty accurate summation of her content, or I guess how she influences people. And what I think she is best known for are her shower routine videos. She does do shopping videos and hauls, and she does look at other adjacent topics, but what I think her bread and butter are her shower routines. So we're going to look at her most viewed, most popular shower routine. It is linked or it's one of her pinned posts. Let's watch it now. 9.6 million views.
Hey besties, you know what time it is. Help me pick out my shower routine for the night. Tonight, I want to do an all vanilla scented shower routine, so let's go ahead and get right into it. As always, I'm starting with the Dove Sensitive Skin Beauty Bar for my first cleanse. Now, I need to pick a body scrub, and I'm obviously going to use the vanilla one from Tree Hut. This scrub is literally so good. It pairs very well with any scent you could think of. Now it's time to pick a body wash. I haven't used this one in a while. I am going to use Warm Vanilla Sugar from Bath & Body Works, and I need a restock soon because I'm almost out of this. And not too much on my Warm Vanilla Sugar. I know some of you guys don't like her, but I will always love her, so not too much on my girl. Now I have to pick a body lotion, and I will be using this one right here. I am going to be using Vanilla Bean from the lotion company. This is one of my favorite lotions by them. This is going to go so nicely with this routine. For some extra moisture, I will be using a body glaze. I just have to find the one I want to use, and she is right here. So I will be using the Vanillionaire Body Glaze from Canvas Beauty. Now I need to pick a body oil. Oops, wrong drawer. Okay, here are all my Canvas Beauty body oils, and I'm going to use this one right here. I will be using the So Very Very Vanilla from Canvas Beauty. These body drops are so good. Now I need to pick a body spray, and I'm going to use this one right here because I haven't used this in a while. This is Bare Vanilla Untamed from Victoria's Secret. This is more like a spicy vanilla, and it is so good. Last, it's time to pick a perfume, and I'm actually going to pick a perfume from this little island thing. I see the one I want to use. So for perfume, I'm going to be using Vanilla Vice from Sniff. This is one of my all-time favorite fragrances. Okay, besties, here you have it. Here is my vanilla routine for tonight. Let me know what you think and what scent I should do next.
All right. So her signature welcome in is "Hey besties." It's cute. Um I I like it. And when you see her room and her hand and her wave, you know it's her and you know her room. So her shower routine has 7 steps, and many of the steps are actually repeating. She does a double cleanse on the body, or she is this routine. She says she starts with the double cleanse. We have a body scrub, a body lotion, a body glaze, a body oil, a body spray, and a perfume. We have duplicates of things in here, like 2 washes, 2 like fragrances, 2 moisturizing products like a body lotion and a glaze, but then also an oil. I want to say that you probably only need 1 of those things, not 3, but I'm fairly certain there are going to be people even in this community who will do like a lotion and an oil. Maybe if you do multiple, like those are 3 steps I listed. If you do 2 of the 3, let me know. The 7 products in a single routine is so much stuff for a routine. And one of the reasons why she does this is to give people ideas for things they could use in their routine. She is not actually using all of these products. I do not think she uses all of these products all the time or even in most showers, because this is a lot of stuff. And I think I've only ever seen 1 TikTok of hers that was like her even remotely using these particular products or like her set of products. We don't actually see her using this stuff. So girl could just be using like a literal bar soap every day and we would never know. This is a performance for the camera. This is not real life, but has potentially real life influences on you, the viewer. And she's giving you all of these things to give you ideas of things you could buy. Or like if you particularly don't like an oil, but you use a body glaze, then like that product is in there for you. But even though she may be coming at this, like, let me give you all things, so there's something in there for everybody, there is still the implication of this is what a smell good routine looks like. This is what, like, it really contributes into this like multi-step beauty routine that's already out there. There are so many TikToks of people who have like a 25-step shower routine or bath routine. We will be talking about those eventually. This is contributing to like a discourse that's already out there, and so this does not stand out as abnormal in the context of that, of like the everything shower routine. But I feel like it's worth saying you don't need a body mist and a perfume in the same routine. You don't. Like there is such a thing as too much fragrance, and this could potentially be it. And also some of this matters when you're going out in public. So many people are sensitive or allergic to fragrance, and like if you do like a 1 little spritz, I think in many situations you'll probably be fine. Of course, not every situation, but you start like dousing yourself in perfume or start doing multiple scents, and then you become like more strongly scented, and then you have a potentially bigger impact on other people around you. So this is more content on TikTok that is for the content and not real life, but trying to pass as real life. You know, we see that all the time as well, like with all of the ice influencers who weren't actually drinking the things that they were making, as well as the fitness influencers who aren't doing the routines that they say that they're doing, or like they're going to the gym and they're putting on like their super cute set and they're filming just for the TikTok, and that's not their actual workout routine, or they're not eating the things that they say that they're eating. Like people will construct realities that aren't real, and that's somewhat like a normal part of TikTok life now. And as far as, you know, creating false realities, this isn't the biggest one out there. It's just more, I guess, examples of for the content. And this also really feels like it's not about the hygiene, but it's about the aesthetics of hygiene. And this is the perfect segue into her beauty room, hygiene room. She has a literal store. This is a literal store. Like she has sorry, my buttons are clanking here. She has so much stuff, a whole room. And to demonstrate some of this excess, I counted individual shelves, so not even her whole room. I counted particular shelves in particular categories to just give you a sense of how much stuff is in here. So on her body lotions, I'm going to show you a picture. Her top row of body lotions are Bath & Body Works body lotions in the clear tubs, not the tubs, the clear bottles. She has approximately 52 lotions on one shelf. If each of those cost $10, which they don't, but there's sales and stuff, so I think $10 we could say could potentially be the price of every one of those if she got them on sale. It's $520 worth of product on one shelf. Fragrance mists. The one shelf of those Bath & Body Works fragrance mists in the round bottles, approximately 144 on one shelf. If each of those cost $10, it's over $1,000 in fragrance mists. Candles. There's about 54 candles on her, not the top, the ones above the shelf, but on the top row of her shelf, there's about 54 candles. The Tree Hut scrubs. Now, this was a little bit more challenging to calculate or estimate the price of because it was the quantity of, because I couldn't see how deep it goes. It appears that her Tree Hut scrubs go 3 deep. If that's the case, she's 120 scrubs. The Tree Hut scrubs make the least amount of sense to own this much of because they take up, the way that she has them stacked, they take up the entire row, a wall. So you genuinely can't actually see the scrubs behind you or behind the ones in the front. So if you're the kind of person who's out of sight, out of mind, you can literally forget what's back there and not know. This is display over function. It's not about how good it is, and it's not about that this serves a utility or a function. This is performative excess, in my opinion. Performative excess is like aspirational consumption. It's consumption for the sake of being seen consuming. It's not just about owning. You're broadcasting how much you own for the sake of wealth or status or self-worth. And a lot of influencer culture is performative excess because what you own is meant to be consumed visually. And it's not about owning products, it's about displaying them visually, which is a signal or a symbol. The showcasing of her products are intertwined or integral to her channel. So this is so much so that her excess is not a byproduct of her channel. It is part and parcel. It is the content. Her content is not actually about using stuff and using what she has. Her content is all about displaying and showcasing. And she knows this is a lot of stuff because she talks about how much stuff this is on a fairly regular basis. And she knows that showcasing her hygiene room is not normal, quote unquote. Everyday average people don't own this much stuff. Many people aspire to own this much stuff and see this as the symbol of wealth or success or making it, or want to make more money so they can have a room like this. Tatiana's content isn't just about the shower routine. She does influence in other ways as well. She does regular hauls and, of course, advertisements. These might seem like small additions, but they are additional ways that she can influence people and normalize certain kinds of behavior. And it also it's more ways of normalizing excess and justifying overconsumption. She does a lot of hauls at Ulta and Sephora. She'll occasionally do stuff at Burlington. Ulta and Sephora hauls do make sense because of some of the products that she has. You can get Sol de Janeiro at Sephora. We're going to watch a video of her next doing a haul in early November, and it just keeps going and going.
Besties, I have a huge shopping haul. No, seriously. I have a huge shopping haul. Probably my biggest haul yet. My shopping addiction is crazy. For real. Crazy. grab your water, your chips, your snacks, whatever, because we're going to be here for a long time. Let's get right into it. Let's go ahead and start with Ulta. Let's start with this one. So the first thing I got was the Enchanting Emerald Foaming Gel Wash from Tree Hut, along with the body butter and the sugar scrub. Okay, next I got the Too Faced Pillow Balm Ultra Plush Duo. It comes with 2 limited edition shades. This blue one is called Ice Crystal, and this one is Midnight Crystal. I got 2 REM Beauty lip oils. I got Pick and Petals, which is her tribute to Mac Miller. And then I got Raspberry Drip. Then I got 2 of her glossy bombs. I got Strawberry Soda and Skinny Dripped. Here is what they look like. And then I got one of her liquid eyeshadows in the shade Fembot. This is what it looks like. And then I got the NYX Epic Ink Liner, and then this is in the shade Graham Cracker. I've been looking for a brown eyeliner for so long, and I finally found one that I liked. Moving on to Sephora. I got 2 Sol de Janeiro sprays, 59 and 76. I got the Too Faced Better Than Sex Chocolate Mascara. This is just their brown version of the original. I got the new limited edition Summer Fridays Lip Balm. This is in Hot Cocoa. This packaging is so pretty. Next, I got the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Big Lip Plumpgasm, and this is in the shade Fair Medium. The packaging on this is so pretty. And then I also got the matching Pillow Talk Lip Cheat Lip Liner. And then last, I got this super pretty lip gloss from the Sephora collection, and this is in the shade Outrageous. Let's do Hollister next. I only got one thing from here, but you guys have to see how cute it is.
She laughingly refers to this, her shopping addiction is crazy. I think the exact words are, my shopping addiction is crazy. And then, it's like, haha, it's a way for her to signal her self-awareness. This is a lot, but it's not that serious. We talked all about retail therapy in a video last week. If you want to talk more about this, I don't want to stay here too long because, we just talked about it. But, it's a way of dismissing her behavior, but also influencing her audience to haul and shop and buy more stuff. She does a lot of paid partnerships, and we'll look at one in just a second. And she does sponsored content, and when your channel is built off of these hygiene products, and then you do advertisements for said hygiene products, it's muddying the water, in my opinion. When your entire brand is built on showcasing products, it can become difficult to distinguish between genuine excitement and paid excitement. What's a genuine recommendation versus a paid one? Some of the brands she has done partnerships with have been big ones like Dove, but she also has done some small brands, and the one we're going to look at now is also, it's not part of her hygiene item routine. It's something different. And that's also kind of the problem with with channels just branching out, is because people like her, right? I think she's really nice to listen to, and she seems like a nice person. So people like her, and then people like her and she starts posting all this kind of content of clothes and nails and shopping, and then phone cases. It gives people who like her and potentially trust her more things to buy from her. So let's watch now.
Girl, I know you've had that phone case on for about a year and it's starting to crack. You need a new one. And this is the perfect time to get one, because my girl Maya over at Mrs. Gallery is having her Mommy and Me sale for Mother's Day. And that is her buy one, get one 30% off sale, which is an amazing deal. You could get yourself a case, your mom a case, your aunt a case, your sister a case, and you can get one for yourself too. But these are the current ones I have so far. These are all made by Maya. They are so cute. I have this iPad case. This was a custom made one with extra junk. Same with this one. And then this one was a pre-made. All of her pre-mades are already discounted, and they're still adorable. Here are the phone cases that I've gotten from her. They are all so cute. And then I even got a Kindle case, and I actually have 2 more on the way. It has become an addiction, okay?
So the whole premise of this is not really the problem isn't the phone case. It's how she sells them. You've had your phone case for a year. It's probably cracked your wall. Get another one. First of all, you don't need multiple cases for your phone. When people pitch buying multiple things for something that is part of planned obsolescence, it kind of bugs me. And phones are a planned obsolescence thing, where most people only own a phone for 1 to 3 years. Sometimes people own them longer and it's usually a choice, but people tend to, like, when their contract expires, will get a new phone. So not only is your phone getting refreshed every couple of years, but so is the case with that. And phone cases these days are typically not that expensive, and so you buying a new case is not really a big deal. But when your item is an item that is part of planned obsolescence, and you buy multiple things for your phone every time you get a new phone, you are creating an expiration date on that item, like before you even buy it. And like, phones have been increasingly treated like accessories that you can just accessorize and put your own personal touch and stamp on, get multiple changing with your outfit, with your season, with your mood, and that's incredibly normal. And that's an idea that is perpetuated here. And these are all plastic cases, and really as well contributes to fast tech. And this contributes to fast tech even if these items are made by a small business, because it's like perpetuating the idea of like the multiple things. And typically that's only really possible when we have cheaply made goods. A lot of phone cases are cheaply made. And so people can also justify owning and buying more. Like if your phone case is $5 or $10, you could buy 2 or 3, $20, $30, no big deal. And also the quality of many of these cases aren't that great. And so people often need to buy a case because it's not meant to be used that long. It's also plastic. It's all plastic, and buying so much plastic all the freaking time for things that we're not even, this isn't about the phone case anymore. Like her whole room is plastic. It's plastic. And we're buying things that we're not actually intending to use, let alone finish. And it's all plastic. Anyway, we're gonna move on from the phone case and the ad and things like that. She knows that what she does is excessive and it's a lot, and she makes content about that all the time. I'm gonna show you some TikToks now. So she plays into it with things like this. Number 1, maturing is realizing you don't need to buy perfume at every slight inconvenience. And then it flips, too bad I'm immature. My entire room looks like her entire wish list. You have so much. You own so much stuff. Like, you own what somebody else wishes that they could own. Like, I don't know, this one just strikes me as really weird. It's flexing, which in a way that I don't like. POV, you're never beating the material girl allegations. All these are sayings or things, a way to showcase how much she owns. Another one, that's such a waste of money. I spend it how I like. One is 216,000 views. You should really stop buying hygiene products. Thanks, but no thanks. One of her beauty room that says this is the function. Cute. Do I need more? Do I need more? Okay, here's another one. You don't need all that. God forbid a girl wants to smell good all the time. The caption, what can I say? I like smelling good 24/7. Somebody in the comments, God forbid a woman has hobbies. It's acquisition as entertainment. She's self-aware enough to know that this is so much stuff that she's turning it into content. And she's finding different ways to post these kinds of reels that show and communicate excess. And this smelling good TikTok, the implication is that in order to smell good, you gotta own a lot of stuff. Y'all, how good you smell has nothing to do with the quantity of product that you have. You can smell amazing and own literally one thing. I'm not saying that's what you gotta do, but she's trying to say that she smells good all the time because she has so much stuff. No. On the video that says POV, you're never beating the material girl allegations, somebody asks, aren't your creams going to expire? Somebody else responds, I don't think so. And if it does, she can just buy more. People are literally viewing what she has as disposable. It's all just disposable. Just buy some more. This is excessive. And we're legitimizing and validating this excess because it's a hobby, because I like to smell good, because it's something that I love. Therefore, it's totally okay to buy in excess. And I have much to say about this. Number 1, this is not really a hobby. It's a career, which we're going to talk about. I think that this is a perfect reminder that you do not need to monetize your hobbies or your life. It's really great if you have something that you love. Let's say you discover that you really like to crochet and then you're able to turn that into a business. Wonderful. Social media and consumer culture have taught us to think about ourselves as monetizable and to do that as much as possible and to make as much money as possible. But it's perfectly okay and healthy to have things you do just for yourself, to have things that you do that doesn't matter how good you are or if you make money off of them, you do them because they are meaningful, special, important, or pleasurable to you. And consumption-based hobbies can be dangerous because is it actually a hobby or is the hobby shopping? Because arguably, her hobby is buying hygiene items. One of the common pushbacks when people like me critique influencers is it's their job. Their followers will use it to defend them and they will use it to defend themselves. It's a bit of a dodge in my opinion, and it's also like saying how I consume is different than you. My overconsumption is okay because it's my career. It's different from yours, and if you own as much as me, it's not okay, but it's okay for me because it's my job. Yes, she is a content creator, and part of content creation may involve showcasing things online, but there is a difference between showcasing a routine and stockpiling an entire store because the excess is very much tied to the content. We talked about performative excess, and all of this, I feel like, should lead us to question the influencer's job and how they go about doing it. Because what is the job? Somebody might say, oh, her job is to review products online or showcase shower routines. But is that really? Because when you're showing this much stuff this often, the job seems like it's to influence people to buy things. And if it was really about showcasing people routines, you wouldn't need to showcase your entire collection every time. Her display isn't just about loving products, it's a normalizing of excess. When you're publicly displaying this much level of stuff all the time and using it as an aspirational tool, it sets a standard. She's part of the normalization that more is better, more is more. It distorts people's sense of enoughness, and it makes an overflowing hygiene room, an excess hygiene room, a hygiene room, which is a not normal thing to have, seem normal, seem like a goal or an aspirational instead of what it is, which is excess. It fundamentally distorts our reality of what normal lives look like or should look like. And also, who benefits from this kind of content? Genuinely, ask yourself, and anybody you watch, myself included, do you benefit from watching this content? That's what I ask you to do for everybody. Do you benefit from watching somebody haul stuff all the time? From showcasing a room with literally thousands of products in it? Do you benefit? I can tell you the environment doesn't benefit, and probably your wallet doesn't benefit. Brands benefit, or retailers benefit. She benefits. In my opinion, the job at its core is to make new things desirable to you and to buy more stuff. You can call it whatever you want, but that is the essence of what she does. Or content creators like her. And while I can buy the argument that content creators like her review products or help people find new things that they love and use all the time, this may be the case with some of her content when she provides actual reviews, but these shower routines are not reviews. And if you are a regular viewer of content like her, you are seeing a revolving door of product, and you're also seeing hundreds, if not thousands of products on a monthly basis. It gives you a literal never-ending list of things to want. And if the hundreds of products had absolutely no impact on her job, like if they didn't matter, then why are they there? Overconsumption is framed as aesthetic via the beauty room like this. And it's not just hers, because there are so many beauty rooms and beauty adjacent rooms that have popped up in the last 5 to 10 years. We've seen the skincare room and the traditional like makeup beauty room. We've also seen the fragrance room. And now we have the hygiene room. And the vastness of her collection to me signals that her products are not actually meant to be used up. They're meant to be replaced, which is an extremely powerful message. And go look at Project Pan videos on TikTok or YouTube. There are so many people who have overconsumed makeup, skincare, fragrances, hair care, body care because of their own consumption habits online and how they watch, interact with content, is that Tatiana's fault. No, it's not. But she's part of the culture of excess. And this is the segment, very brief since I talk about it fairly often, where we talk about personal choices. Personal financial choices and spending habits are no longer personal, private, and individual when you showcase them online because they have the capacity to influence others. People talk about Tatiana's content. It's her money. She can spend it how she wants. Well, yes, she can spend it how she wants regardless of what I say about it or what others say about it. She shouldn't be able to spend it literally however she wants because she's impacting people on a daily basis. Her content has the capacity to influence others on a daily basis. And I think ownership needs to be put on that and taken seriously on how you influence other people. Her content and content like this is overconsumption that is disguised as self-care or routine. We're now on the third portion of today's video, which is talking about the hyper-individualism of consumption. And one of the most fascinating but also troubling aspects of content like Tatiana's is how self-care is defined almost exclusively by consumption. A lot of people do find bathing as an act of self-care. I'm one of those people. I think it is a really important and powerful act of self-care, but content like this almost removes the bathing out of the equation or the showering out of the equation because it becomes all about the stuff. The self-care becomes about the stuff and not about the shower. In addition, capitalism thrives under hyper-individualism because it helps to create a cycle where self-worth and identity are tied to objects, and you define yourself by what you own. And when you do that, the desire, your desire to express yourself, you're represented by your stuff, and therefore your self-expression, what you buy, is tied to stuff. Like your stuff is a symbol of who you are, which makes everything you buy a reflection of who you are, therefore it makes it important. This also extends to self-care. And when consumption is extended to self-care, it becomes somewhat insidious in a way. Because yes, you have the endless loop of more, but you're tying in shopping with self-care, and it becomes a distraction from the actual things that we may need to take care of ourselves, or the things that may help improve our well-being. So when self-care is tied to consumption, we're not doing the things in many cases that may help with our burnout, our stress, our anxiety. We're in some ways masking it or not dealing with it. And this kind of self-care, especially the product-specific, consumer-specific self-care, is there's extra layers to that, because if we're doing that, this can help us keep us focused on ourselves as individuals, so much so where we tune out the rest of the world, or we don't think about the things that are actually causing the burnout and the stress. I'm talking about systems here and structures of society that, as an example, minimum wage. Is that actually a livable wage? If the hours that we're working, there are levels to this. If the hours that we're working are, let's say 50 or 60 hours, which are normal in your field, and then you try and soothe that with a sheet mask or even some journaling, the journaling can become a way to cope with something that's ultimately unsustainable. It's kind of a pacification through consumption. We're buying things to cope with problems that are in many ways systemic, and the individualistic focus turns our gaze inwards, making us think the solution is self-soothing instead of collective action. So this hyper-individualistic approach keeps us so focused on ourselves, we don't think about the other things around us. If we're so fixated on curating our own lives or buying the next thing, you're not thinking about things like universal health care that could alleviate the medical costs that drive stress, or walkable cities that could reduce dependencies on cars and increase community connections and have more thriving environments and people having access to nature, which does have tremendous mental health benefits, or having better livable wages or affordable housing. Consumption as self-care is such a perfect distraction. You are allowed to like it, you're allowed to like a bubble bath, and you are absolutely allowed to like a nice moisturizer, 100%. But I think the thing that we need to ask ourselves is, are these things distracting us from the systemic issues in our lives. That's why I called it insidious. And I'm not saying this is all on Tatiana's back. Okay, that would be colossally unfair. I want to make that real clear, but I think it's the culture of consumption in general that keeps us inwards and keeps us curating our identities and buying more stuff that is keeping us distracted. But there are the other layers of self-care that are present in content like hers than in like normal content. So these are my concluding thoughts. This page's endless display of body washes and creams and shower routines and aesthetic shelves of hygiene products. They're not just self-care items, as she says. They are a reinforcement of this distraction. Her page isn't just about hygiene, it's about a perfect and purchasable self. And this is a reduction of self-care to shopping. It is entirely possible to consume this content without wanting to shop or wanting to consume. Sometimes people live vicariously through others and they don't find themselves influenced or distracted. And I ask you to genuinely ask yourself, is this content helping me? Is it positive? Is it neutral? Or is it negative? And just because I find a piece of content problematic doesn't inherently make it so for everybody, on every occasion, at every moment in life. And you know what? Sometimes you just need 15 minutes to just tune the fuck out. And I get it. If this is how you tune out, but then you tune back in, and you're okay and you're not negatively influenced, then fine. You know, I am not the arbiter of taste or content out there. You are for yourself and you know yourself best. So please ask yourself. Ask yourself that for this content and all the content like it. That's it for me today. Thank you so much for watching and hanging out with me today. I hope you like this content. If you like this video, give this video a like. Subscribe if you want to catch more from me. I have 5 videos a week coming to you every week, Wednesday through Sunday, for all of me. So come back tomorrow for a new video. If all goes well, tomorrow's video should be on the ruthless declutter. I had to do that take 4 times. And if you're like, what is that? No, we're not talking about the buy and declutter cycle. We're talking about the idealization of the ruthless declutter. Come back, it's going to be a good one. So I hope to see you then. Thanks for watching. Bye.